Deep Dip is a Folian-style tower map, consisting of 15 floors with 0 checkpoints and just one finish. Beating it is not for the faint of heart, with only 32 finishes in 2.5 years, yet some players decided to go one step further, racing for the world record, pushing it far beyond anything anyone had ever imagined. This is the world record history of Deep Dip. The map was released on the 17th of November 2022 with a cash prize of finishing first. The very best players navigated the map, with the first finisher, Bren, setting the world record at 47 minutes and 5 seconds. Then, just 12 hours later, it had been beaten by the second finish on the map. Virtual had taken the lead, shaving 5 more minutes off of Bren's time. There were some other finishers around this time too, with Ixon taking 3rd place. Lars came in 4th place and took the world record down a further 6 minutes, with a time of 36 minutes and 5 seconds just 3 days later. At this point, Virtual was trying to hunt the map for a world record, not content with his first finish, and just 2 days after that, he beat the world record for a second time with a 32-minute run, closing in on the 30-minute barrier. And only just 1 week after the map had first been beaten, Spam took the record down by a further minute and a half to over 30:57. There were some mistakes in it, but considering how quickly this run had been completed, this was an incredible time. And that's where the run stood for the end of the year. Scrappy and Affy had also beaten the map in this time, but neither had gotten close to Spam's run. In the following months, no one beat the map. The only new addition was a tool-assisted speedrun by Bucks, setting a mind-boggling pace of 16 minutes and 13 seconds, but this was far beyond the human limits. In May, Harvey became the 9th finisher of the map, the first in 6 months. I had also been trying to beat it at this point, but to no avail. And only later that same month, Scrappy put down a new benchmark with a 25-minute run, shaving another 5 minutes off of the map, hitting the first sub-30-minute time. A massive change in the lead. But still, there was time to be saved, having played some of the tricks safe with a slow setup. But Harvey didn't do any of that for his next run 2 months later, further reducing the world record down to a 23:45, his first, and certainly not last, world record on the map. Unfortunately for him, one of the best Trackmania players had joined the fray. Mudder, a Trackmania world champion, finished the map a month later and soon pushed the world record down even further to a 22-minute time using the intended route. It was virtually flawless, and without a new idea, this run would be very difficult to beat. And yet, Harvey wanted more. He had seen a shortcut found by Whiskey which skips from midpoint of floor 10 all the way to the end of floor 11, saving around 90 seconds. With this and some incredible pace, he could push Mudder's world record even lower. And on the 7th of October, he had done it, setting a blistering 19-minute and 15-second world record that looked impossible to beat. A shortcut 14 minutes into the map with near perfect execution would require the work of a madman to beat using the same route. Another 9 months passed by. No one had beaten the map, let alone the record. Heading into 2025, 6 more players had beaten the map, but none of them were even below 30 minutes. This record was going to require something new. However, earlier in October, a segmented run of the map had been completed by Ishmael, Dobsonium and myself. This beat the task by 9 minutes, setting a 7-minute time, a brand new benchmark for the map. In here, Groga12 found a new shortcut, a reactor flight. From floor 2, a reactor could be reached outside of the reset block and used to fly to floor 8, taking around 7 minutes on Harvey's world record. But no one believed it could be done in a run. Dobsonian had begun a new influx of finishers with 9 brand new finishers between January and March of 2025, including myself. The world record was still untouchable, however Groga had found a setup for the reactor flight and was kind enough to share it with me. Throughout March, we both tried to get the new record, and finally, on the 2nd of April, 16 months after Harvey set his world record, it was beaten by me with a 16-minute and 36-second time, saving a further 3 minutes off of the world record, barely missing the task time by only 23 seconds. It was a safe run, but it was also the first reactor skip in a completed attempt, and it flew all the way to floor 9, further than the segmented run. Harvey did not stop there. Having beaten the Deep Dip 2 world record after 1,000 hours of attempts, just 3 days after I beat the Deep Dip 1 world record, he was back to hunting. He wasn't just trying to beat my time, he wanted to get the Magnet Yeet shortcut again after the reactor. Then just 2 months after I had set my record, it had been destroyed by Harvey with a 12:57, the first run to beat the task, and the first sub 13-minute run. Another ridiculous world record that would take a lot of effort to beat. Dobsonian had other plans though. During my world record hunting, he'd come up with a way to fly to the roof of the tower from floor 2. Not only was he hoping to beat the map again, he was hoping to destroy the world record. 3 months after Harvey's third world record, Dobsonian got this landing on floor 14 and successfully worked his way to the finish ring in just 7 minutes and 25 seconds, almost beating their segmented run. This was on August the 20th. What came next was unprecedented. 5 days later, I had a run that landed on the roof in just 4 minutes, but I felt bad about taking the record so soon after Dobsonian had hunted it for 5 months, and the run itself wasn't what I wanted, and restarted without finishing. We go again. However, this was soon forgotten as Dobsonian once again pushed the record even further, hitting the first run faster than the segmented run with a 5:06, just seconds away from the tantalizing sub 5. And yet, just 36 hours later, this has been beaten by Sano, who has spent just 1 hour on the actual map after some practice, who had taken the first sub 5, putting in a 4:38, another 28 seconds of improvement. A truly astonishing feat. But this did not last long. Just 10 hours after Sano's world record, I'd beat it, bringing the time down to a 4:09, extremely close to a sub 4. However, the next day, Piasek and I found a shortcut that could save around 7 seconds. We could probably land up here to climb around, give me a far larger buffer for the first sub 4. It's not that difficult either. But I was not the only one hunting it. Dobsonian, Piasek and Sano were all trying to get there first, and yet 3 days passed without any improvement. It had gotten to the point where the map was almost maximised. 1 week after Dobsonian's 7-minute record, it had been beaten by another 3 minutes. Then finally, on August the 30th, it was done, the first sub 4-minute time. With this new shortcut and some further refinements, I could bring the time down enough to get a sub 4. It was a 3:53, set at 3:53 PM. With this, there was not much to do on the map, except of course, the direct finish. Virtual had joined the fight once again, and another 3 days went by without any improvements. And then, Virtual beat my world record by 7 seconds, giving him a 3:46 with the exact same route. His pace was insane. I knew if I were to beat him, it would need to be something special. But, just 96 minutes later, it had been done. A 3:30. The fastest run on the map, and the first to get a direct finish. This was my 3rd world record in 6 days, and my 4th overall. Better than I could have ever anticipated. But it wasn't perfect. I lost about 7 seconds to my full potential. But that was it. I had achieved my goals on the map, and was content. But Virtual was not. 2 new shortcuts were found on the map, setting a further 30 seconds.
No way though, no way bro!
The sub 3 was doable. Finally, on the 7th of September 2025, just 18 days after Dobsonian's first world record, Virtual got it. The first sub 3.
Ah, it's done! Oh my god! Oh my god, it's the best run I've ever driven!
A 2:51 with a pristine run, only losing about 6 seconds at most to his full potential. This run was it. History. Despite the fact that this map has 15 floors, not a single one of them had been beaten the intended way. The world record had been pushed beyond all expectations. No one could have ever anticipated, even a month ago, that the world record would be sub 3. And with that comes the end of the world record history, for now. Further improvements on this are going to be very difficult, but you never know. It has been a huge privilege to have helped pioneer this record and get it to where it is today. A huge congratulations go to Virtual and all the other world record holders. But that's everything for today. Thank you all for watching, and goodbye.